I have to carry around a card, I have to carry around keys, I have to carry around a mobile phone. I think transhumanism is the step to put all of that inside my body so that not only my brain is smart, but my body is too.
A nice big breath in. Super. Did you feel much of the second one?
Not as bad
Not
as the first
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Feel a bit of a pinch. It's the only way that we can progress. We've made all sorts of technology to do all sorts of incredible things, but none of them respond to my biology. I can understand why people might think it's an extreme thing to do. I can understand why people might associate it with self-hatred or self-destruction, but really, I think it's a way to evolve.
So we want these sitting somewhere-ish around here, and then just relax, and then we're going to find where we're going to go.
I have in my left hand an RFID chip, that's my door key. In my right hand I have an NFC chip, that is my business card. In the middle of my right finger I have a magnet that lets me sense EM fields. I have the contraceptive implant, a 3D printed kneecap, and now 2 LED implants.
Cool. Still just going to smush that for a second.
I was in a very bad car accident that fractured my back in multiple places, both my ankles and both my knees. So my kneecap is completely 3D printed from the NHS. I've also had multiple needles up and down my spine repeatedly and multiple procedures. If I didn't have my chip in my hand, I wouldn't be able to easily access the door. And when one hand's full of your stuff, another hand's full of a cane, it's really handy to have a free hand free where I don't have to hobble for canes because that's my cane hand. This one is my business card at the moment, but I can put on there all of my medical information. So if something happens and I'm incapacitated and I can't tell somebody my blood type, my medical history, and something goes wrong, they can look it up and they can see all of my medical information and make me safer if I have to go to the hospital.
You can only see one above the skin, but there's actually 3 bits of test node in there. I call myself either a biohacker or a grinder or a practical transhumanist. They all basically mean the same thing. They all just mean somebody that takes transhumanism into their own hands. You get sterile tools, you get a little sterile field out, which is like a little sterile fold out thing that stops you getting germs everywhere. And then you cut a hole, maybe that's with a scalpel, maybe that's with a needle, whatever it is, it comes out of a sterile package. You put whatever device it is in the hole. Sometimes you need stitches, most of the time you don't. Most of the time steri-strips are fine, and then you take care of the wound until it heals up, and then you say, ah, that worked, or oh, bummer, that didn't work. In theory, I care what happens to me. In practice, I don't really care what happens to me so much as I care about data. So I would much rather do an interesting experiment that might have some risk to it than not do the experiment because there's risk.
I think that people would see it as an extreme thing because they're looking from a historical perspective. They're not looking forward.
I don't think implants are inevitable. I do think they'll get better, longer lasting, look cooler, be prettier, have more functionalities, have all this type of stuff, and it's going to be one more option people have. I love having my keys in my hand so that way I don't need to carry keys about with me. My partner, who could get the exact same chip I have, wants nothing to do with it, and that's fine. Just different choices. I think we'll just have more choices.
Shalom. All praises unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Chodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the house of David, the elect. To you I say greetings. All right, so as you just saw, I know it was a bit long, it was almost 4:41 actually for the timing on it, but I had cut it, some of the extra little pieces off. But nonetheless, as you just saw that video, This is by the BBC News. I believe I'm going to take a picture of it and put it as the thumbnail. But it's by BBC News from BBC Scotland. All right, and that came out, I think, October 6, 2019. So this was last month. But nonetheless, you see how these people are talking. So they have this thing now, and they're calling it transhumanism, to where individuals are putting RFID chips into their bodies. All right. And, you have that one lady who looked like a sodomite, a lesbian. She ended up saying that she was a biohacker, which means she's taken into her own hands to put these things into her body, man. So she's taking these devices and she's just chipping herself up. And you see how they got the one lady mentioning how she had got into a car accident. So now they're using her medical information to be able to access this transhumanism and put these different devices in people's bodies. So now she's thinking it's a good idea. But what did she say about her, the guy she's dating? She said he thinks it's a terrible idea. And I'm not saying he's on the spiritual level with it, but he's on the right path with knowing that it's foolishness and it's nonsense. And it goes so much further than that, of course we all know the scripture, but we have to bring it out each and every time. And I actually have 2 more videos on the mark of the beast that I want to do. So Lord willing, I'm able to get to them. But I'm just going to read this just for edification. Revelation 13:16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And so, they'll try to put in their left hands. But you saw the lady, they were showing the one you saw on the top. She said there's actually 3 devices in there. All right. And she said, if I ever need to, it makes it so easy to just have my keys to be able to open my door. And so right now they're not showing them making purchases, and they have like the one with the vending machine and stuff like that, I believe in Sweden, but they're not showing them making purchases yet. But Edomites, so-called white people, they like to believe in evolution, right? They like to think that theory is real. They like to think that, we came from animals and now we're here. All right. And so now they're thinking of evolution, like, as far as having a robotic body. And the next article I'm going to do is about this lady who thinks she calls herself a cyborg, and that's because they think themselves to be higher level. You're on a different mental plane if you have robotics inside of you, if you have these different devices inside of you. All right. But that's ultimately going to lead these people to destruction. And ultimately, hey, Edomites, you go ahead and take it. If you're here in America, especially, you're going to be destroyed anyway. But you all going to be destroyed, man. One way or another. Okay? But they're working this in the minds of the people. And I got the next article I'm going to bring out on my other video. It talks about how basically in the year 2019, the purchase of RFID chips has gone up a healthy percentage, man. And this is 2019, the year of Karagma. All right, so it says their right hand and their forehands, and they constantly show you that they're taking that little device and they're putting it right into their hands, man. All right. It says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right, so that mark of the beast is that RFID chip, man. Radio frequency identification, or the near field communication. Because she had that. She said she put them in her arms and her legs and the back of her kneecaps. They're doing this thing left and right, man. They think they're a high level because they have these things a part of their body. And so they're able to get access. Oh, I don't want to carry my keys. Oh, big fucking deal, man. You got to put keys in your pocket, man. If you don't like carrying keys, minimize your keys, man. Cats walking around with all of the bullshit on your keys, man, and you can't fit them into your pocket. Hey, man, get one key ring, put your car key on it, your house key, and if you got a mailbox key or some shit, man, you don't need 1,000 keys. But nonetheless, we know why they're really pushing this. They're using the convenience of medical information. They're using the convenience of making printers at the copy and getting into your vending machine. They're making all of that seem like that's the main reason, but we know that these are just the lower level reasons to be able to push and implement this chip on a much higher level. Okay? But the Heavenly Father, who you ignorantly call God in Jesus Christ, he says he's going to destroy everybody that takes that. Okay? This is Revelation 14:9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. All right, that's talking about the thermonuclear missiles that's going to destroy America. And, even in different parts of the world. Some people like to think, oh, well, if they're taking the mark of the beast over in Sweden and if they're taking the mark of the beast over in Scotland, what does that mean for me? All right. You're going to be destroyed, too. OK, because everybody, of course, most of all of the missiles are coming to completely destroy America. But they're going to be missiles hitting up different countries. And it says in front of you're going to see those missiles in the sight of the holy angels. OK, because even if you don't, let's say you don't get hit with a missile. All right. The Lord's going to have the chariots and the angels completely destroy you, man. All right. Going to completely zap you out, man. Going to those lasers coming from those chariots are going to disintegrate you, man. All right. So I don't want to make this too long. Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the house of David, the elect. Shalom.